Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to the Floatress of Solitude here outside Seattle, Washington, and welcome to another edition of Step Chat. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of our new Float family members. I don't think you're here yet, but that's okay. Good to see everybody. Thank you all for being here. For those of you that I have not yet had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Stephen Jones. I am the executive producer of Float. I'm also the executive producer of Aloft and Fulcrum and a couple other projects, and in a non-arrogant way, the center of the Floativerse. So how you all doing? So thank you for being here. Hello, Linda. Good to see you. Marquette, always a pleasure to see you as well. Thank you for being here. I welcome to June. Welcome to June. Unless, of course, you're in Australia, and I think it's already like October 3rd. So there you go. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, good to see you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday night as we explore all the things of the Floativerse and what's going on and what's been, what's happened, what is happening, all kinds of fun stuff. Dina, good to see you as always. Thank you for being here. I am still worn out from last week. Float week was a week. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Greg Aragoni, good to see you, sir. One of our fabulous Float team members. Thank you for being here. And by the way, happy anniversary to you and your lovely wife. So there you go. Yeah, it's Float week was a lot. We had a lot of announcements that we made over the week. We made we 5 different live shows that went on during the week. And then, of course, it was a roller coaster all the way till the end. Yeah, just there you go. Bergen, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I will share a little bit more of that as we go on, obviously. The thing about Float Week, at least this particular one, right? Because we do one, there's just like, we have like maybe 3 a year or something. There'll be another one near the end as we get really, really close to the end of the convention, like as we gear up for like 2 weeks out from the convention or something. But I will say that so far, I have to say, I'm very optimistic, very positive about what's happening right now with what we saw over the weekend. So, yeah. So why don't we, hello, Linda. Good to see you. Thank you. Jamie, good to see you as well. Thank you for being here. So I do just want to take a moment. I'm hoping tonight, like I said, I'm hoping that we see a lot of new faces out here tonight. When we sent out the one thing that I noticed, and the one thing that was honestly a little bit surprising, was just the wave and wave and wave and wave and wave of first-time floaters coming. Like normally right about now, when you get to the end of that first discount deadline, it's normally veterans. It's veterans that weren't paying attention to the early discount price for them, right? The returning people discount. So it's almost entirely veterans. And then you get like a handful of newbies. And then as you get closer to the event, you get more and more newbies. I was shocked by the numbers of people that marked, yes, this is my first float. I was shocked by it. So it's a very good thing to see. Angela, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Float is it's growing, kids. It is. I'm very excited where we are right now, but we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So why don't we get to it, shall we? Let's do my screen share here. Let's get to everything that we got to get to, and let's do this. So again, for those of you that are unaware, there's about a 6 to 10 second delay between my phone and what actually goes on the screen. So there we go. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. I forgot to fix that. Interesting. I'll have to fix it in post. I forgot to change out the opening slide for this. So clearly tonight is not May 25th. We are going to go over the faculty again, but it won't be a reveal tonight. So there you go. Sorry about that. Well, as you all know, we got the Floativerse. A lot of stuff is going on as we get geared up to go to Reno. But before we do that, of course, we have to always talk about our good stuff with Aloft. Now, for those of you that are new to the Floativerse, Aloft is our 24/7 streaming service that we offer. It's an additional support element that we provide with Float. It involves over 150 videos, classes, podcast episodes, and more. There's even entertainment stuff in there. There's all kinds of fun stuff that's part of it. And as a member of Aloft, which you can be a member for either 6 months or a year at a time, you get unlimited access to all that content. In addition to the unlimited access to all the recorded content, you also get access to our monthly virtual class. And as we announced last week, this month's instructor is the one and only Stacy Chase, who will be joining us for turning customers into clients. This is her strategy in which of taking average casual user customers and turning them into regular returning business. This class is going to be taking place on June 10th, which is 1 week from Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, and whatever the hell time it is where you are. Very excited about that. Looking forward to having Stacy teach the class. Now, again, if you are not a member of Aloft, it's very easy to do. And there are so many benefits for you at Float alone that are well worth the membership. Trust me on this one. But if you join Aloft, you just go to floatconvention.com/Aloft. Again, you can pick either one. You can pick 6 months, which is $80, or you can pick an annual event, which is $120. So it's obviously cheaper per month. It is paid at one lump sum. It's not a monthly fee. You're not charged every month. It's charged by the 6 months block, or it's charged by the year. And it is auto renewable. Now, keep in mind, you have the ability to go into your PayPal account and disconnect that auto renewal if you don't want it. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to sign up for this because it's just going to keep renewing. Well, yeah, that is what subscription business models are based on. But with PayPal, you do have a very easy way out. You just have to go in, log in, and disconnect it. So if you just want to try it for 6 months and you're not sure you're going to like it or not, try it for 6 months and disengage it. And then if you do like it, before you expire, go back in and re-engage it. It's that simple. Now, if you don't want to commit, to being a member, but you do want to take this class, there's 2 ways you can do it. I should say 2 ways you'll be able to do it. Number one, obviously, is join Aloft. The other one is to go to floatconvention.com/orange store. Orange like the color, store like the retail, and you'll be able to sign up for this class. Now, the problem is with all of the Float Week stuff that we had going on last week, this completely fell off my radar. So I will be submitting all the paperwork for the guys to get that uploaded tomorrow morning. So I do apologize if anybody wants to sign up for tonight. So it may take a day. It doesn't take them long to switch this out. They literally have to switch the button and the link. They normally get it done in a couple of hours because of all the other work they have to do. So it should be fairly quickly. But I do apologize to everybody if you've been waiting to sign up for this class, unfortunately, that's my fault. It's entirely my fault. So don't get mad at Stacy. Not that anybody would. But Billy Damon, good to see you, sir. Thank you for being here. Billy Damon, another one of our new staffers coming to Float this year. Very excited about that. Thank you, Dina. Thank you very much for posting that link in the Facebook comments. Thank you. Of course, I have to specify it's Facebook because of the fact that it's going to YouTube and all kinds of other stuff and blah, blah, blah. So there we have it. Okay. So, Stacy, we're very excited to have you. Murphy, you cannot push on the chair. We've had this conversation. He doesn't listen. So for those of you that are new to the show, this is Murphy. I know you can't see much of him right now because I'm in this tiny little box in the window corner. And he's probably going to wiggle his way out of my lap here for a second. But for now, he's going to sit here and join me, so he's not trying to nuzzle up against the chair and therefore turn the camera constantly. I have a very high-tech setup here at the shop. I am literally sitting on a step, like the one step in the shop, and the laptop is sitting on a swivel chair. This is back in the days when Roscoe was still here. God rest his soul. And we could turn the chair to show him sitting up in his tower or whatever. But now I just get you, right? Not just get you. You are much more animated than Roscoe was during the show. I must say that. Roscoe would basically look up and smirk and then go back to sleep. 90% of the time we looked at his butt. So Murphy is still, like, as far as entertainment value goes, Murphy's like hands and feet above Roscoe in that regard. But He is a little more cumbersome. Roscoe was a little, oh, dude, you got to stop. Roscoe was a little more, shall we say, less distracting. So there we go. He's also anxious because you'll notice you don't hear the squeaking going. It's because I got rid of the squeak ball. And of course, I just realized too, I forgot to put my headphones in, but I don't know if it makes much difference or not. Laura, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you having the time with us tonight. So there we go. So very much excited about Stacy's class. Stacy is all about the business. All about the business. All about the business. Really excited about this class. Looking forward to it. And again, we want to thank Stacy for taking time out of her schedule to teach the class for us. Now, as expected, this slide is a little bit deceiving. So I want to make sure you understand what I'm talking about. For those of you that are former Balloon Training Institute members, soon to formally now be the Float Training Institute, and for those of you that are Aloft members, you received coupon codes to download the entire former BTI library for free. That coupon code expired at midnight last night. So this extension, if you missed it, it's too late. You're sorry, it's done. But as expected, yesterday afternoon / evening was a myriad of people scrambling to download the videos for the first time in a month. I got emails from people, it's not working. I went to the Balloon DVD's website and it's not functioning. What's wrong? You didn't read the email. And people just jumped on or whatever and what have you. And guys, we've been telling you for a month. In fact, we let up with it. Before we even got to May, we told you about it, right? We warned you. We set it all up. It's done. What this is, this extension to June 3rd, as I've described before, the videos themselves are on the Balloon DVD's digital download platform. That is not the same thing as balloondvds.com. Balloondvds.com is no longer in existence. I took the website down because, dear God, we're not selling DVDs anymore. And I didn't feel the point in just leading it back to the digital download site. So, Dina, I read the email and had 0 issues. Thank you. Yeah, I would say 95% of the people did. The people who'd had issues didn't read the email. They started jumping ahead. They started doing whatever. Or they just went right to Aloft and they're like, where are these videos? And I made it very clear, these videos were not going to be part of the Aloft program ever. So there you go. Either way, we've been promoting this for over a month. But for those individuals that did download, they made the purchases, right? The purchase with the coupon code. For those of you that did, in fact, make the purchase and you got the email back from selfie.com, here's your downloads. We are giving you until Tuesday to finish the downloads. We are not extending this any further. We are not extending this any further. So once June 3rd comes and goes, they're all down off the site. Period. I cannot say enough how I want to be rid of these. It has nothing to do with the videos themselves. It has to do with the previous ownership. So, Melanie Burrow, all 120 of them. There were actually 130. So did you miss 10 or just typo? But Melanie did say I downloaded all of them and had no issues. The only people that seemed to have issues with downloading were people that were trying to do it to their phones or people whose computers were already full and it wouldn't work. And they're like, it won't download. It won't download. It's not working. I'm like, well, are you out of memory? And about I would say probably 2/3 of the people that had problems like that were trying to download them to their phones. So, and I know a couple of people went out and bought a couple. They bought external drives or whatever. Or in my case, you've got Dropbox or whatever. I have both. I do physical backup and digital backup online for the video content now. After how we lost so many of the early Airy Deco videos. Amanda Bruce and Why Not Balloons. I downloaded the ones I wanted, no problem. Great. Billy, that was a great courtesy of you. Thank you. Like I said, I felt badly for the people who were former BTI students that were promised lifetime access to those videos, and that's why we did it. And to the Aloft members, I thought, you know what? I really appreciate the hell out of you being a member. So thank you. And so you can have it too. So also for those the former BTI members, we did as a promotional offer, if they weren't already a member, we did offer them 6 months of free access to Aloft as well because of the whole transition and the complication and everything else. However, obviously it didn't apply to existing members because if you're already a member, you already know the value of it. But that coupon code is expired as well. That coupon code's gone too. So if you did not take advantage, if you're a former BTI member and you did not take advantage of the 6-month complimentary access to Aloft, I'm afraid that coupon is come and gone too. So there you go. Billy, you just hit it right on the head. Ha ha, who's lifetime? That's correct. The problem with this is one of the issues in the transition between Balloon Training Institute and Float. The previous owners never intentionally defined lifetime. And because of that, theoretically, you can argue the lifetime of the business, which technically means that when Balloon Training Institute was sold to Angie, technically speaking, that's the end of its life. And then there you go. Now, because she agreed to keep the Balloon Training Institute name and moniker and everything, well, then honestly, she would honor that same agreement. When I took over, I made it very clear I was buying it. I'm not honoring any of those terms. I'm not honoring keeping the name. I'm not honoring keeping the Marvel Comics ripoff logo. I'm not agreeing to any of this stuff. I'm just giving you money and you're giving me what I'm taking it, and I'll do what I want. And Angie said, yep. And she said that was fine. So there you go. And of course, if you've been paying attention to Facebook at all, you know the drama that ensues with the previous ownership, which is, there you go. But yeah, so yes, thank you, because I totally forgot. I'm guessing you forgot to download them, not make the purchase. So either way, Dominique, and it's good to see you, by the way. So there we go. So yes, for those of you that did go through the process, remember, you must have made the process. The coupon code does not work anymore at all. Coupon code is dead. Okay. Last week was a big week in the Floativerse. As you all know, last week was Float Week. We announced we couldn't really say it at first. It was supposed to be 17 instructors, but we ended up announcing the 19 instructors, general class instructor, additional instructors. And then we announced the 8 masterclass instructors. So tonight we do want to take a moment, first of all, to show off my spelling corrected slide. If you were here last week, you know. But There you go. But we do want to take a moment to go over the faculty with you once again. And tonight, we're going to start off by introducing you to those individuals that are teaching our foundational classes. Now, keep in mind, the instructors that are teaching these foundational classes are teaching one foundational class. They are also teaching an additional regular general class session. So these 10 instructors, each one of them is teaching one foundation class and one general instruction class. Okay. So, and we're going to follow them in alphabetical order. We start out with the ridiculously fabulous and talented Zoe Adams Jones out of Australia, teaching on behalf of Globus Piasso. Zoe is going to be teaching the Essentials of Organics class. In addition to that, she's going to be teaching a balloons and signage general class session. So we're very excited about that, and we're so happy. And for those of you that are Aloft members, remember, Zoe did teach one of our Aloft classes back when they were still the foundation classes. She taught the rainbow design class. So those of you Aloft members, if you'd like to get a taste of Zoe before she comes to float, by all means, check her out there. Y'all know her. Y'all love her. Dawn Gertman, the one and only Dawn Gertman. She is going to be teaching a foundation class on behalf of our friends at Decomex. She's going to be teaching arches. She's going to be teaching the basic arch class. Now, when I say arch class, I am not talking about garlands. I'm talking about physically framed arches. Okay. That is what Dawn is going to be teaching. And she's also, good heavens, what's the other class she's teaching? I should have looked it up. I forgot. But it's on the website at flowconvention.com/instructors. There you go. But once again, Dawn is teaching on behalf of our friends at Decomex. Thank you, Decomex, for bringing Dawn. And there you go. Very excited about Dawn's class as well. Lily Jimenez, the brain child. Oh, he found one of the squeak toys. Oh. Lily Jimenez, the brainchild behind the Creative Heart Studio and the Balloon Mosaic concept, will be teaching our social media class for our foundation program. And that is the only class she's teaching. I'm sorry, I forgot. There are 2 instructors that are only teaching one class, and that is one of them. But oh, thank you, Dina. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Dawn Gertman's other class is prom decor. Thank you for that, Dina. Thank you. Some of you might be wondering when we announced Lily, by the way, because you'll notice that Lily Jimenez is with the Creative Heart Studio and the class is being presented by Creative Heart Studio. I did go into this a little bit, not with Lily specifically, but I went into this with a different instructor on the Instagram Live the other night. So allow me to expand upon this here. Historically, we do not allow instructors to self-sponsor. And it's true. And the reason we don't do this is because historically, in the past, when we've allowed people to self-sponsor, it turns into nothing but a sales pitch, right? It really, really does. It turns into, hey, you should buy this, you should buy that, and oh, and I'll teach you. Here's this one little thing, and if you want to buy this, blah, 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 that's what it turns into, right? Lorena, good to see you. The reason we spoke with Lily is because we were able to work out an arrangement with Lily to teach this class. It is social media. Intro to social media is not what Lily sells, right? This is not what Lily sells. So with the 2 of them being conflicting against each other, it actually works. And this way, Lily, who was coming to be a sponsor in the convention, we can work something out to where our costs are kept down. Because remember, all of these classes were supposed to be instructed by established teachers who were already coming to float. The two of the classes, when the sponsors picked their second and third choices, they were like, no, you're not changing any of the classes. We're not letting you take one of those classes out. No, you're not doing it. So then suddenly we had 2 holes in the schedule. We know how we're going to fix it next time, but we don't need to go into that right now. But Lily Jimenez, sponsored by Creative Heart Studio. Thank you very much, Lily. Appreciate you coming, and thank you for being part of our event. Liliana, good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us here. Amanda Mahoney, the silent, real brains behind the operation out of Balloons Every Day. I said it. Our good friends at Anagram are bringing Amanda Mahoney. Amanda will be teaching framing. For those of you that don't know Amanda, she's like 5 foot nothing. and like 95 pounds and can run a hammer drill and a chainsaw and like anybody's business. She is amazing. And she is going to show you, no matter how big you are or how small you are, she's going to show you how to make pipe your bitch, basically. She's fantastic. I love her to death and so excited that she's teaching. And again, thank you to our friends at Anagram. Amanda is also going to be teaching a foil class as well, foil walls and delivery pieces and everything else. So thank you, Amanda. Sarah Meyer, Wisconsin Balloon Decor, but you mostly know her as the Bright Balloon Podcast. She is coming to Float to teach the columns class for us as part of the foundation program. Thanks to our friends at Having a Party for bringing Sarah along for the ride. Very, very excited about that. The Float 2024 Designer of the Year, Alyssa Murray Lane, is going to be teaching our Intro to Sculpting class at Float, courtesy of our friends at fanfare.io. Very happy about that. Really excited. Alyssa does a lot of very practical, real world sculpting that sells. And that's what she's going to be showing you in this class. A brand new instructor to Float, Noelle Ramiro out of Miami, Florida, teaching on behalf of our friends at High Float. Noelle is going to be teaching, if it's High Float, it's got to be helium. Noelle is going to be teaching you intro to helium. So basically, she's going to show you the ins and outs, the basics of working with helium. So if you're one of these stylists that tells everybody helium's bad for the environment when you really just don't know how to sell it, this is the class you want to take. By the way, stop telling people it's bad for the environment, because it ain't. Hello, Miss Stephanie. Good to see you. Ariel Rush and Ray Walsh out of the Texas area, presented by our friends at All American Balloons. They are going to teach you how to twist. So if you don't understand twist, if you think twisting is blowing up a 260 and wrapping it into a garland, you don't really know twisting. But that's okay, because Ariel and Ray are going to teach you how. So that's part of our beginning program as well. Very excited about that. Miss Stephanie, good to see you. And once again, they're brought to us by our friends at All American Balloons. Jill Shortreed, who ran, I should say, one of the most successful balloon retailers on the entire East Coast. Now the educational director for Anagram. She's going to be teaching intro to business basics for us as part of the foundation program, And of course, because she is the Anagram educational director, she's being presented to us by friends at Anagram Balloons. And bringing up the rear, Brianna Silvio out of Elevated Impressions. She is presented by our friends at Rainbow Balloons, and she is going to be teaching questions, queries, and qualifiers. This is customer interaction. This is what you should be asking, what you should be doing when somebody calls you or somebody emails you and says, I want to hire you for X. Very excited about this class, and I don't know that there's anybody better suited for this one. So thank you once again to both Brianna and to Rainbow Balloons for teaching this class for us. Thank you very much. Bargain Balloons is in the audience. Jesse, how you doing? Or Jessica, excuse me. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. It's been a while since we've chatted. Now, I've been getting questions all week long from people debating, should I do the academic pass or should I do the foundation pass? Because I've only been doing balloons for a year, but I don't want to miss out on all these other classes. And one of the most popular questions I'll be getting this week is, if I really should be in the foundation level, but I decide I'm going to get the academic pass because I want all these other classes, can I still take the certification test? No, you cannot. If you opt into the academic pass, you void your opportunity to take the foundational track certification program at Float. Bottom line. Sorry. If you are a general attendee, yes, you can opt into taking the beginner classes if you want to. There's no problem with that whatsoever. So if there's somebody that's like, you know what, I suck at twisting, I'm going to take the twisting class. That's fine. If you're an academic attendee, if you're coming at the $595 price, or now $695, if you're coming at that price point, no problem. You can absolutely take the beginner classes. You can enroll in them. You can choose them as one of your classes. But no, you cannot test in, because the certification program is based on a combination of being in class, hands-on stuff that you do in class, and then the written test at the end. So there you go. Sorry, can't do it. All right, folks. Some people got really excited about these general class teachers coming to Float, and there's good reason, because there's some amazing talent coming this year. We've got some great first-timers teaching. We've got some great first-time. We have great first-time Float instructors. We've got some veterans coming, and we've got some global talents that are just phenomenal, that I'm so excited that said yes. So here we go. I was lucky enough last week to introduce you to Andrea Camacho of Andy Magic Balloons. She is going to be teaching on behalf of our friends at Calisan. Andy is a fashionista. She's going to be teaching 2 classes on dressmaking, one of them on making dresses and one of them on making accenting with dresses. But the accenting can absolutely be used in your standard decor as well. So it's not just about dresses in that class. So we're very excited about that. And thank you to our friends at Calisan for sponsoring Andrea. Arturo Castro, he was one of our Floaty Award winners last year. He tied for the best mural design last year. This year he's coming to Float as an instructor, courtesy of our friends at Gemar, all the way from Spain. Very excited to have Arturo coming with us to Float. Sally Clackett, Laura Slater, and Meg Robertson, you might know them better as Bubble Gum Balloons out of England. We are so excited that our friends at Anagram dug deep and are bringing bubblegum balloons to Float to teach 2 different classes for us as general class instructors. I should also reiterate, everybody that I'm mentioning right now is teaching 2 general class sessions at Float. So I, for one, am excited to meet the ladies of Bubblegum Balloons. Jessica Cruz Torres out of Southern California, courtesy of our friends at Joker Party Supply. Jessica did that fabulous entrance decor for the beach party last time at Float 2024. Very excited about that. Looking forward to having Jessica as an instructor this year. The Wunderkind, Oswaldo Dorado, out of Mexico, courtesy of our friends at Globus Payaso. This kid is 17 years old and is just blowing up the entire South American continent with his work. He is doing an amazing job. Very excited to have him joining us at Float 2026. Oswaldo, we look forward to seeing you there. A Float veteran returns, Eduardo Flores, courtesy of our friends at Novedades Pema, which is also better known to you as Mega Shine. He's going to be coming. He's teaching 2 different sculpting classes at Float. He's going to build a Jeep and he's going to build a dragon. And we're very excited about this. So Eduardo is always a top level talent when it comes to sculpting. Looking forward to his classes for sure. A first-time Float instructor, Didi Forgione, out of Balloonacy, Boston. To say that she does exquisite organic work is like saying that water is wet. She's fabulous. And she's coming on courtesy of our friends at DecoChamp. So she's actually going to be focusing her work this time around on ore balloons and on Bobo balloon designs. So we're excited about that as well. Looking forward to having her as a first-time instructor at Float. Another first-time instructor at Float, but certainly no stranger to the Floativerse. It's Melissa Fox out of Balloon Theory out of St. Louis, presented by our friends at Metallic. She is teaching both a business class on customer service as well as a pickup, like a grab-and-go order concept, where she's going to show off multiple designs that make her tons of money as grab-and-go concepts. So you want quick, easy money and a way to grow your business, there you go. Brian Getz, another no stranger to the Floativerse, and has been a bonus class instructor before, but this is his first time in the big chair. And I do want to state this publicly as well. I feel that it deserves public recognition. When the advisory board was reviewing Brian's classes, multiple members of the board stated they wished that he could teach all of his classes. I think he proposed 6 classes. And several members of the board said, I wish he could teach them all. So there you go. Brian is going to be teaching a rigging class, and he's going to be teaching a linking balloon sculpting class on making mascots, courtesy of our friends at Metallic. So thank you very much for bringing Brian to the convention as a full-blown instructor. Leslie Hicks out of Southern California, another familiar face at Float. You might remember her last year at the beach party running around in scuba gear and looking adorable. Leslie is going to be joining us this year as a full-blown instructor, courtesy of our friends at Gemar. And she is going to be doing something that nobody at Float has ever done before. She's bringing a tent, like a full tent, and setting it up in her classroom so that she can teach doing like tent draping and balloon decor inside of tents. Very, very excited about that. Thank you, Leslie, for joining us at Float. Another Southern Californian, another first-time instructor coming to Float, Mary Hohikian, joining us courtesy of our friends at Elatex. Mary, by the way, is going to be doing some fabulous, she just always does fabulous stuff. She's doing a figure studies class with a mermaid. She's doing how she weaves her those, what are they called? I forget, I call them tombstones, but whatever they are. But she was going to show you how she creates those woven ones. They're just fabulous. Fantastic stuff. And I should also note, let me cheat real quick. Give me 1 second to look back here for just a moment. I do want to point out, how far back do I have to go? Just one. Okay, perfect. All right. I do want to remind you all too, I completely forgot to tell you guys before. I've been trying to remind you of our Aloft members, and I totally forgot with some of the other teachers. So we'll go back and do it a little bit later. Brian and his lovely wife, Christina Getz, have a class on Aloft. Again, under the foundation, it was OMG Organic Walls. And Mary Hohikian has a class on Aloft as well. And it's actually under the Aloft name. It was the big, beautiful, bountiful basket or something. Tisket a tasket, a bountiful basket, something like that. So we're very excited to have both of them teaching as well. For those of you that were in the foundation program that I forgot to mention, I do apologize. I know that off the top of my head, Brianna Silvio taught a class for us under Aloft. Sarah Meyer taught a class for us under Aloft. Alyssa Murray taught a class for us under Aloft. So those are the ones I can think of right off the top of my head. Again, just more reasons to be members of Aloft, folks. Tabitha Miller, if you attended Fulcrum in January, in the Jamar room, you saw the fabulous float mural that was done on the wall there. That was Tabitha. And Tabitha also took home a bunch of first place awards at Float 2024. And she literally was, I think, less than 10 points away from Designer of the Year. It was very, very close. So there you go. Presented by our friends at Batalic. We're looking forward to Tabitha's classes at Float 2026. Murphy, you cannot run into the chair. Please stop. If there is one word to describe Andrea Papolino, it is personality. There you go. If that outfit doesn't give it away, I don't know what does. Andrea Papolino of Papo Art Balloons, courtesy of our friends at Prima. Very excited about that. He's going to be teaching. He's got a fabulous sculpted tree design that he calls the flamboyant tree, which is really quite intricate. And then he's got an organic wall technique that is signaturely unique, and he's going to teach that as part of his class as well. So very excited to have Andrea joining us at Float, courtesy of our friends at Prima. I should just go to the next slide. Well, I don't even need to say anything. No, I'm kidding. Jenny Porter is one of our most popular instructors like ever. She's got 2 classes on the Aloft program, one under Aloft and one under the Foundation program. She just keeps going farther and farther, just impressing us more and more and more every time. We're excited to have Jenny joining us once again at Float, courtesy of our friends at Tough Techs. Another first-time instructors, a tag team husband and wife team, Nikki Skrobot and Thomas Dorscher of Rock and Robot Party Company. They'll be joining us courtesy of our friends at Tough Techs. One of their classes I'm very much excited about is like how to expedite things faster, like how to work quicker and more efficiently, which in all honesty is something I think a lot of people need to have their butts in that class. It's astounding to me how long it takes people to do stuff. I'm excited about this class. Thank you so much to Tough Techs for agreeing to sponsor Nikki and Thomas at Float. of all the instructors, if I have a man crush, it is this dude right here. Alexander Solomatin out of balloondog.ru out of Moscow, Russia. This guy does, hi Murphy. This guy does some of the most impressive installations I've ever seen in my life. Sculpture wise, he's the one, and balloon drop wise, if you see these videos out of Russia with 40,000 balloons falling from the sky in the shape of a heart, no less, or something like that, this is the guy that's doing it. I, for one, no, I don't, nobody, I'm taking myself off the schedule when he's teaching, because my butt will be in a seat watching these classes, because fantastic work. I'm so thrilled that our friends at GEM are bringing Alexander to float. Thank you so much for that. I am very excited. And bringing up the rear, but certainly not least by any means, is the stylist artiste Jesus Tejada, courtesy of our friends at Cool Party Balloons. If you were at Float 2024, Jesus designed the decor that was featured in the Friday Night Fun and at the Saturday Night Karaoke Party. This time around, he is going to be teaching as a full-blown instructor at Float. Once again, courtesy of our friends out of Chicago at Cool Party Balloons. Very excited about this. Looking forward to his class. Can't say enough about it. Those are the general class instructors coming to Float. So up until this point, especially if you're one of our newer folks watching tonight, up until this point, everybody that you've seen presented are teaching classes that are included with the academic registration. Okay? What does that mean? You can take any of those classes at Float for free, as long as you are signed up under the academic pass system. If you are one of our foundation class members, you are only allowed to take the foundation classes. But there's a reason, because we want them concentrated. We want you focused on getting the basics down. Now we are going to discuss those individuals that are going to be teaching the master classes. Now, these are what we refer to as added value classes at Float. They are not included free with the registration to the convention. These do cost extra. These will be going on sale in September. Before I go any further, however, I do want to bring up a point that I think needs to be said. I got a couple of emails from some very angry people this week because you said you weren't picking masterclass instructors until August. And now I can't be a masterclass instructor. Well, first of all, we need to remember nobody's guaranteed to be a masterclass instructor when we start scheduling Float. But we've also been out here on Step Chat for well over a month now, talking about the fact that everything was falling into place much earlier than anticipated. And because of that, I didn't think we were going to be able to keep the secrets that long. Because the truth of the matter is, we have so many people that just start casually talking. Then the next thing you know, the word's out on everybody. And when you have sponsors coming up to you saying, hey, do you have any other teaching opportunities? We've got a person we want to put in front of people, and where's a check? You're going to do it. So there you go. Sandy Presley, good to see you. One of our staff members, fabulous staff members. So tonight we're going to remind you, I did this live on Instagram, on Instagram the other night. But tonight we're just going to go over really quickly the folks that are going to be teaching master classes at Float. Another Italian. Andrea's not the only one coming to Float this year. Alessandro Patagne, Balloon Expert Lab, I believe that's Giari, out of Italy, presented by our friends at Anagram. Alessandro's class is going to be the Saturday afternoon class on January 24th. One of the two. The other class on Saturday afternoon is going to be taught by our friends out of New Jersey. So we got Italy and Joyzy. Dali Hilario and Eduardo Mina Ramos out of De Lunes. They're going to be teaching on behalf of Tough Techs. They're going to be teaching. Forgive me. Alessandro is going to be teaching a class called Fabulous Fantasy Fairies, which is one of those scene classes where you're going to make an entire scene during the course of the class. And our good friends, I've already announced it, so it's not a secret. Our good friends, Dali and Eduardo, are going to be teaching classes for us, basically organic, but not just how they do organic, but also how they sell organic, how they upsell organic, how they market their organic decor, all kinds of stuff. So it's not just hands-on blowing up balloons. It's also business oriented as well. So we're excited about that. These are the two classes they're going to be teaching on Saturday afternoon at Float as an optional value. Then we get to Sunday morning. Yes, the one and only Edward Munoz is returning to Float once again as a masterclass instructor. On behalf of our friends at Burton and Burton, thank you very much for bringing Edward. Edward is going to be teaching fabulous, like his class is kind of all over the board. It's like we're going to do arches, we're going to do columns, we're going to do backdrops, we're going to do centerpieces, we're going to do this. I think what we're going to be doing more than anything is probably just detailing, like accent pieces that you can sell. But don't quote me on that because you have to read the class description to really understand it. But there you go. Edward is always fabulous and his stuff is always amazing and everybody fights to get in there. So there's a class. But it's going to be a tough battle because you're going to be up against Brianna Silvio of Elevated Impressions teaching her. She's got like a business motivational class that she's going to be teaching at that time, presented by our friends at Rainbow Balloons. Now, some of you are back to that original conversation. Hey, wait a minute. We just saw Brianna teaching in the foundation classes. What is she doing teaching master classes? Because, Steve, you have this rule that master class teachers can't teach general classes. And that is also correct. This is another one of those odd duck situations that we fell into with the beginner track this year. So because Brianna had already been selected to be a masterclass instructor because Rainbow had reached out and said, we really want to sponsor her. With that being said, I reached out to Brianna. I said, look, I kind of need a favor. Can you help me out with this? We'll slide you a little extra cash. We'll get you this, Nick. Can we do this? And then we reached out to Rainbow and said, hey, I know you're bringing Brianna, but can we borrow her for a little bit and do this with her too? And they said, do we still get to be your sponsor? I said, yes. They said, yes. So there we go. So Brianna's going to teach a class for us as well. So Brianna and Edward are both teaching on Sunday morning, 8 o'clock to noon. Okay. You trying to describe Edward's class. I can't lie, Miss Stephanie. I'm a little perplexed by what it's actually going to be. Once I get the notes, I'll know better. But honestly, I am a little confused as to what it's going to be. I can't lie. I'm not going to lie about it. But again, it's Edward. So we know it's going to be fabulous. And we know Edward. He'll be sure. We're all going to find out what it's about long before the class actually gets going. So there you go. Now, that's the morning on Sunday. Who's teaching in the afternoon? We start off with my good friend Jason Sakota, who, for those of you that don't know, Jason is a ridiculously talented twister. He was supposed to teach at our workshop last summer that got canceled, along with Edward Munoz. So I probably said, dude, you know what? I'm going to make sure you get to Float this time. Then you're going to be one of my general class or one of my master class instructors. So Jason is going to be teaching figure study and textural differences. Jason does fabulous work with figures, with balloon people. And so he's going to show you how through standard twisting, through weaving, through distortion, how he creates some of the most amazing anatomical figures. Jason is very well known for that throughout the twisting world. And if you are on YouTube, you may already know him as one half of the Balloon Guys. So there you go. So if you don't already follow them on YouTube, subscribe to their channel as well. So Jason's going to be teaching one of our classes, but maybe you're not the most, and I will say this is not for beginners. You should have a foundation of twisting before you sign up for this class. So who would be going up against Jason? Well, again, in my opinion, I've said this before. I will say it again. I will say it until I'm wrong. This individual is probably the most versatile and the most talented individual out there working today who combines latex and foils together. There are fabulous, incredible people that do foil work. There are incredible people that do latex work, but there are very few people that do it so well together. You know damn well I'm talking about Adrian Winfrey. Adrian was supposed to teach for us in 2022, but that, of course, was during the COVID pandemic. And guess who came down with COVID? So she wasn't able to make it. But this time around, I'm like, we got to get you back in here. So I, for one, am very excited about Adrienne Winfrey teaching for us at Float. And that's exact from Shine. What's it? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's a great class though, and it's the combination. It's how to create layers and how to combine latex and foil together into stunning designs. From Shine to Refine or something like that. It's fabulous. Billy Damon, yes, Jason is a legend, absolutely a legend in the twisting world, without question. So we're very excited to have both of them teaching as well. So those are the Sunday afternoon classes. Now remember, with the new Float after party concept that we came up with this year, there are now 2 business master classes on Thursday. And of course, the first one is being taught by our good friend Stacy Chase. Stacy's class is basically going to be about revenue producing concepts all year long. Whether it's photos with Santa or whether it's Easter stuff or whatever, she's got if it's a holiday, if it's a time of year, she's got a plan on how she markets and makes money through it. And she's going to be teaching that class as part of our masterclass program on Thursday morning from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is a 3-hour masterclass session because of the scheduling. So there's that. So we're very excited about Stacy. However, Stacy's got some tough competition. Because she's going to be up against Josh Dirks, the one and only Josh Dirks from Fulcrum 2025. Many of you met him. Many of you followed him around like a puppy for the rest of the time because he just knows everything when it comes to social media. He is a guru and a genius, and he is going to be teaching for us at Float 2026 as one of our masterclass instructors on Thursday. By the way, as of right now, if you'll notice here, the last 4 classes, Josh, Stacy, Adrienne, and Jason, are all currently being sponsored by Float. If you are watching this video and you're one of our sponsors and you'd like to be involved as a sponsor of one of these classes, we are absolutely at this point we're open to sponsorships of these individuals. So there you go. Well, that's it, folks. That's it for the instructing lineup. Now, keep in mind, that's really not all, right? Because we still have bonus classes that will be announced much, much later in the year in September. We also have feature talent that we'll be announcing throughout the year. So feature talent are people like the dressmakers, the decor designers, like the featured talent in the jam room, featured instructors that may pop up in some of the sponsored sessions and things like that. But we'll be announcing all those that come along too. But those are the individuals that are leading the academic lineup at Float. And I, for one, I don't know that we've ever had a lineup quite like this before. We've had some damn good lineups before. I don't know that we've ever had them as strong as this one is. Really excited about it. Now, I, for one, yesterday, as we all talked about, was the end of the deadline for the $595 price point for Float. And I had mentioned on a previous Step Chat episode or 2 that I was hoping we would be at 300. And I will say that when I woke up yesterday morning, I was quite bummed because we were considerably away from that number. And then I thought, okay, have I overreached? Is it possible? Am I too, I don't want to say arrogant because that's not it. Am I too presumptuous about Float's growth, right? Am I just too excited about it? Am I too whatever? And to be honest, I was thoroughly exhausted yesterday. I went to bed at 7 p.m. yesterday. Like I was laying down on the couch trying to watch a movie that I've been trying to watch. And like 30 minutes in, I'm like, no, it ain't going to happen. And I just turned it off and I went to sleep. And I thought to myself, well, I'll wake up in the morning and it is what it is. Bam! We did it. As of this morning, when I got up at 5 a.m., exactly 300 people signed up for Float. Exactly 300. When you combine, now again, this is a combination of academic registrations, weekend pass holders, jam pass holders, and the foundational pass holders. We have a combination of 300 people. Now, this number, again, is a bit misleading Because this number does not include faculty. This number does not include staff. It does not include our vendors. It does not include our sponsors. So in reality, right now we are probably very close to 500, if not over 500 people coming. But this number strictly reflects the attendee number, the people that are coming as delegates to the convention. So there you go. So I, for one, would like to take this moment to thank every single one of you who took the moment. Oh, and by the way, literally as the opening theme music started, we were at 301. So there you go. Very excited about that. So moving forward, I do need to remind everybody that the price for the convention is now $695. It is going to be $695 until September 30th. So as you can imagine, we're probably going to hit a lull in registrations. We are contemplating a coupon, but I haven't made a decision yet. Now that we've gotten past the $600 mark, haven't made a decision yet on that, but we'll I'm just throwing it out there that it might happen. But yeah, so the current price of $695 is valid until September 30th. So you got plenty of time now. Get your money in the bank, get saved up, get all this stuff. I also want to reiterate that I forgot to make a slide for this tonight, but the payment plan is in effect and is open until July 31st. Now, please remember, if you sign up for the payment plan, you are registering under the $795 price point. You are not signing up for float $695. You are signing up at $795. Okay. And you have until July 30th to enroll in the payment plan option. Our jam passes have increased as well. Now they only went up by $25. This is the pass that allows you to access the float jam room from Friday until Tuesday. It allows you access to the vendor showcase and anything vendor related. So any sponsored sessions you're allowed to go to. It allows you access to all of the social functions with the exception of the final night gala, because that's on Wednesday. So these jam passes. So if you're a twister and you want to go to float, you want to hang out with a lot of people, but you don't necessarily want to go to class and you want to save some money, here's a great way to do it. $375, you're practically there the entire time. So again, we'll have, and remember, the jam rooms this year will have featured talent in them. They'll have people that are being brought in. They're like, hey, this popular twister is going to be in the jam room from this time to this time, kind of a thing. There's going to be contests. There's going to be games. It's going to be fun. And now it's $375. So there you go. But again, if you're primarily a twister and you're not interested in classes, $375 is a hell of a lot better than $695. And of course, if you're one of those weekend warriors and you can't get away from your day job and you can't come, or you can't afford to leave your day job and you can only make it for the weekend pass is increased by $25 as well. The weekend pass went to $250 as opposed to $225. The weekend pass allows you non-academic access. Oh, by the way, that's right. Non-academic access to float on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you are allowed to attend the social functions in the evening, the Friday night fun, the karaoke party, the Club Latex karaoke party. You're allowed to attend opening night and the fashion show. You're allowed to tour the sculpture competition pieces. Excuse me. You're allowed to be in the jam room. You're allowed to go to sponsored sessions. You're allowed to go to the vendor showcase. But you are not allowed to go in anything academic. You cannot sign up for master classes. You are not allowed to take the fulcrum panels because those are academic. Okay, so there you go. Dina, so will there be product in the jam room from different vendors, or should I try to figure out what to bring with me? The plan is for vendors to provide you with product. As of right now, there are 3 confirmed. 3 sponsors that are confirmed in the jam room are Anagram, Metallica, and Gemar. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot more. Those sponsorships have not opened up yet. They open on June 9th. We have a total of 10 spots available in the jam room for sponsorship. So that means I have 7 open, and I have a feeling that they're all going to get filled up. So there's that. But yeah, I would expect that if they're going to sponsor the jam room, they should be in there with balloons. So there you go. Good question, Dina. Thank you for asking. So yeah, but the moment with the weekend pass, the moment midnight hits at float, your pass is no good anymore. So once it turns into Monday, You're no longer allowed to be involved. Sorry, I have this really high pitched ringing in my ear all of a sudden. So there's that. Okay, I've been getting a question. In fact, the very first person who bought a Jam Pass made a comment on one of the teacher memes on Facebook or on Instagram and said, "Oh, I can't wait for this class." And I went, "Wait a minute." Then I went back in and I said, "That's right." I'm like, "You are aware that you signed up for the Jam Pass, right? You know that you don't get classes with that." And the response was, "Oh, well, I'm sure you'll let me buy in, right?" No! Academic access at Float is only reserved for those individuals who have invested in academic access at Float. If you are taking one of the discount options, you are doing so by sacrificing classes. That's all I got to say. If you want to attend classes at Float of any kind, you got to be an academic attendee. You cannot buy in. You can't come in on a weekend and say, "Can't I sit in here?" No, you can't get a Jam Pass and say, "Yeah, but dude, I really got to take that class." Then you really should have signed up to be an academic attendee. No. Now, there are 2 passes that are not increasing in price. 2 passes did not increase in price. The first one is the international pass. The international rate for Float will remain $575 until January 3rd. So if you are planning to attend Float and you are from another country and you're like, "Well, I want to see what airfare looks like," blah, blah, you don't have to rush. You have until January 3rd to make up your mind. The other pass price, that is not changing. And I don't want to hear one whining complaint about it, is the foundation training. I have made the executive decision to leave the foundation training price exactly where it is at $550 until June 3rd, or until January 3rd. Sorry. The reason for this is simple. Foundation class people only get 10 classes and they don't get to pick them. They don't get the full academic notebook like you do. You can't tell me that's the same value. And the loudest people who complained haven't even signed up for Float yet. So I ain't worried about it. So foundation training price will remain $550 all the way until January 3rd or until it sells out, one of the two. It's maxed out at 100 people. So there you go. Now, there is one deadline coming up for the convention, though, that I need to point out, and that is our fashion show deadline. If you want to be considered as a sponsored dressmaker for Float's fashion show on January 25th, you need to get applied by Friday of this week. The packets go out on the 9th. They go out on Monday. I'd like to have names and categories of people that show who's available for sponsorship. So if you, and right now there's only 4. There's only 4 people right now. So remember, if you want to be one of our featured artists in the fashion show and you want to be sponsored, you need to get applied by the 6th. Sponsoring means you get a free pass to Float. You get a free academic registration to Float. If you've already registered for Float, you either get refunded or you're allowed to transfer it to someone else. So if you want to bring a personal assistant to Float, you can transfer it to them. You get a dress form provided for you at no charge. We will provide you a dress form, and you get a model provided free of charge. So now keep in mind, because remember, we're not turning people away for the fashion show. So if you want to be in the fashion show, right? If you want to be in the fashion show and you'd end up not getting sponsored, that's okay. You could still be in the fashion show. You just don't get a free pass to Float, and you don't get access to a free dress form. We will provide you with a model, but you will not get access. You'll have to bring your own dress form and you have to pay your own way to the convention. So if you want to be considered for the Float Fashion Show as a sponsored artist, then you need to get your butt and your application turned in by June 6th. Right now, there are 6 spots open that I'm aware of, and only 4 people have applied at all. I know, right? It's kind of crazy. We have 3 sponsors who bought like the big mega float package. Anagram, Vitalik, Gemar. They have with their package 2 sponsored artists that are included with their packet. So that means right now there are at least 6 spots that are for sure available, and only 4 people have applied. Do the math. Dina, thank you very much for posting that link in the Facebook chat. That is floatconvention.com/activities-schedule. Thank you for that. That link will shut down Friday night, Saturday morning. So get your butt in, get it turned in as soon as possible. And please remember, only apply once. One individual applied 14 times. Now it's time for what we like to call our street level float content. Let's talk about the Step Chat survey. Every Sunday now in the Float Facebook group, we post a survey that we discuss the results of tonight. Today's question, I thought was a very good one. When it comes to being at a convention, how do you try to save money? Now, some of you jumped in with, I try to get the cheapest price possible for the convention. That's not the question. That was not the question. You assume that you're already there. You've already bought that ticket. I originally contemplated putting that in, but see, that would be before the convention. That's before you actually signed up. So the idea here is not so much how to save money, like how to go all together. It's once you've signed up, how do you try to go about saving money for the convention? And there were a couple of different things that we threw out there. We threw out there the idea of getting a roommate, right? Like having share the hotel room with somebody. We talked about avoiding like impulse shopping. We talked about driving instead of flying or using your points. But the number one, now this one was a lot closer. But the number one vote getter this time around was choosing to eat in your room whenever possible instead of dining out. 41% of you said that you would prefer to eat in your room. And in fact, I know a couple of you have entire travel kitchens that somehow you bring with you and set up in your hotel rooms, which is probably against hotel policy. But yeah, I mean, I know that some of you really try to cut wherever you can. And I get it. I was one of those people once that was literally scraping change out of my couch to afford to go to eat at the convention. So I do understand this. I was surprised. I have to admit, I was very surprised that this was the number one choice as opposed to having a roommate. I was surprised about that. I personally don't like roommates. So if I have a room at Float, I want my own room, right? And I'm assuming that's where a lot of you are coming from too. You'd rather eat the bullet there, deal with it yourself than get a roommate. But there's a lot of folks that are comfortable with that. And don't forget too, we have a roommate thread going in the Facebook group. It has been frighteningly quiet. So if you're looking for a roommate, by all means, we have a chat. It's pinned in the Float Facebook group. So there you go. I do want to remind everybody once again that we are on YouTube at youtube.com/@thefloativerse. And again, the schedule for Step Chat, we do the live feed right here on Facebook every Sunday night. Of course, we will be making an announcement next week about some changes for the June schedule. Then this full episode from tonight's show will be uploaded tomorrow on YouTube. And then on Tuesday, the summary episode will be uploaded, which is about a 15-20 minute breakdown, like a reduction of this big, long, rambling session that I do here. However, I do want to point something out that I feel needs to be said. When we first announced that we were doing the summary, everybody got really excited. There was a lot of very positive feedback. But guys, it seems like I'm doing an awful lot of work for 4 or 5 people. I have so many people complain to me that they don't watch Step Chat because it's too long. And I understand that. But now we've condensed it down to a 15-20 minute version, and you're still not watching it. So I don't know what to tell you at this point. We are going to keep watching the numbers, obviously, but you know, the only episode that's ever been watched by more than 10 people was one that we pinned to Balloon Friends, and it was less than 20. So again, it's one of those things. Do I continue to go? Do I continue to do this extra step if nobody's going to watch it? Now, I do want to say that I know that it takes time for people to get used to it being there. And so that's a thing too, right? So I'm probably willing to continue doing this throughout the summer. But I would say once we hit September, if we're not seeing an increase in numbers in this, we're going to have to really make a decision. We're going to have to make a decision about that. Marquette, my gosh, having a roommate was one of the best things I could have ever done. There you go. And some people, you're talking about the survey comment. Yeah, and I know for a fact that some people have met their best balloon friends that way. So, it's very interesting. But I do want to point that out to everybody that yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to keep doing it for a while, but we got to see where the numbers go on this if we're going to continue it. I do want to remind everybody that the Fit for Float program is still going on, of course. Thank you, Ariel, for that. Ariel Rush is joining us, one of our fabulous instructors at Float. I didn't know they were condensed. Now I'll be sure to look on them. Thank you. Very good. You can find them once again at youtube.com/@thefloativerse. There you go. And remember to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Okay. The Fit for Float program, Lisa McIntyre, our own Lisa McIntyre is running that. It's a Facebook group. Dina, oh, God love you. Dina's still out here. So Dina just posted the link to the YouTube channel. Thank you, Dina. And hopefully, if she's reading my mind already, she's looking up the Fit for Float link as we speak, because I can never remember what it is. I, for one, I haven't had a chance to, I forgot to post this, to be honest with you. I'm very proud to say that I am now officially down 18 pounds. I'm very happy. Still going. I am not quite below 200 yet. I'm at 204 and a half. So I'm hoping that within the way I'm going now, I'm dropping about 2 pounds a week. I'm probably going to get to a point soon where it's going to be 1 pound. But I, for one, am very excited about it. And again, if you want to learn more about how I did it, you talk to Lisa McIntyre. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, so very good. So Lisa is running that group in Fit for Float. And it's always fun to get in there and chat it up and talk about it and share things with other people. And speaking of Lisa McIntyre, this coming Tuesday is Lisa's international edition of Kicking Back with Lisa Mac. This is our virtual happy hour that's hosted every week by Lisa McIntyre. It takes place on the Float Facebook page. It is a live Zoom call that Lisa hosts. But this coming week, this is the first Tuesday of the month. So Lisa is going to be hosting it earlier in the day so that folks from other countries can more easily join in and be part of the fun. Because remember, some of these shows, when Lisa's doing it at 5:00 in the afternoon, my time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and whatever the hell time it is where you are, some of these people, it's 2:00 in the morning or 3:00 in the morning. And like I said, if you're in Australia, it's probably Christmas Day. So, I don't know what to tell you. So Lisa's going to host the show, especially first Tuesday of the month, specifically for those folks in other countries so they can join us at a more comfortable time. So we're excited to have that. That's going to be this coming Tuesday, June 3rd, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's right. Whatever the hell time it is where you are. The first hour of the show is broadcast live on Facebook. And then it goes into what's called after party mode, where people just kind of hang out and chat, where they go off streaming. A lot of people don't even get on the call until the after party kicks in, because they just don't want their business advertised on Facebook. But that's okay. Whatever you want to do. Lisa will post the link in the Float Facebook group because it is private. I'm getting a potential spam call at 7:15 in the evening. So yeah, very excited about that. Thank you, Lisa, for hosting that. Looking forward to that this coming week. And with that being said, my very long-winded episode of Step Chat has come to its organic conclusion. Okay, folks. So with that being said, I am available now for questions. I mean, for those of you, if you're new to the show, and the reason I keep saying if you're new to the show, because earlier today, I did send out an e-blast. I actually had to send out 2 e-blasts because I was kind of an idiot. I sent out an e-blast to everybody registered for Float today, inviting them to the show tonight. And then I realized, of course, the moment I hit send on the damn thing, that I forgot to put the link to the page where you would tune in to watch the show. So I'm not sure how many new folks are out here or not. But this show that we do is a live show every Sunday night, or normally every Sunday night, where it's basically a live Q&A. So you can come here at any time. So if you don't know what's going on, if you're confused, if you're like, you can come here live. I put myself out here every week so that you can ask questions, and get information directly from me. So there you go. So I'm going to hang out for a couple minutes to see if anybody has any questions. While I'm waiting, I do want to take this opportunity to remind everybody that, yes, this month we will not be able to do Step Chat every Sunday night. So basically, graduation season started today. We literally did our first grad party today. And it will go, and of course, with Seattle has the second highest gay population in the country, the gay and lesbian population, second only to San Francisco. And the Pride Parade is one of the largest in the nation. And we have a lot of clients in the Pride Parade. So between some of the graduation work that we have and the Seattle Pride Parade, which is on a Sunday, we will be changing up 2 of our shows to Monday. Okay. So the June 15th episode, which is 2 nights from tonight, or 2 weeks from tonight, will actually be on Monday, the 16th. We will all be doing a graduation. We have one of the University of Washington, one of the many graduation ceremonies for the University of Washington. We have to be, it's Father's Day, and we have to be on campus the entire day. We are pulling balloon drops that day. And so we have to be there the entire day. And then in between, we have to do back-to-back sessions. So we have to rig all the drops the night before. And then we have to yank the empty nets down in between and help clean up and everything. And then stay for the second ceremony and pull the second ceremony and everything else. And then when that's done, we actually have decor for the next event in there the next morning. And so we have to set that decor that night. So, but what I will say is I will tell you flat out that on the night of June 16th, Monday night, I will have a very special guest here in the studio. So yeah. So there's that. Okay. Then on June 29th, which is the last Sunday of the month, that is the date of the Seattle Pride Parade. The last several years, we have gotten back to the shop in time for Step Chat. The last couple of years, we've gotten back here like 5:15, 5:30. But there's no way in hell. There's no way I can do any kind of show prep. There's no way I can do any kind of presentation that night. It's just, no, I can't do it. So the show is actually going to have to take place on the next day, which would be January 30th, which would be Monday. So there you go. Carol, good to see you. Thank you for joining me out here tonight. Thank you for being here. And Tabitha Miller, one of our fabulous instructors, joining us late too. Good to see you, Tabitha. So yeah, those 2 weeks, we will definitely have to reschedule the show to the following Monday. I do apologize. I'll be sure to make sure that everybody knows, with lots of stuff out there, but yeah, we got to do it. So it's a thing. Stacy Chase, I had a balloon friend register yesterday. So excited for them to come and learn. Very good. Thank you for that. Yeah, like I said, we have a lot of new people coming to Float. Stacy, that reminds me, I need to follow up with you privately on something, because I think you sent me an email a long time back about like a throne person or something that might want to come to the vendor showcase, and it just completely fell off my radar. And I came across it earlier today. I was like, oh damn. So I'll follow. You and I can follow up on that sometime this week, I hope. So we'll look into that as well. Um, so there's that. Um, yeah. Well, there we go. Well, I haven't seen any questions come in yet. I will hang out for another minute or two to see if anybody's got anything. But yeah, the lineup is fabulous. Um, I'm so excited for all these folks that are coming to Float, teaching at Float. It's just like I said, we've had some really good lineups before, but we've never had anything like this. Um, well, we've also never had this many instructors. And I've already got people, dear God, I'm so mad because I can't take them all. I know, I get it. Um, it's a thing. So Bergen, yes, you did. Yes, you did indeed. And and in fact, they signed up. So that was great. So thank you. Um, yeah, we've, a lot, and like I said, a ton of new people, a ton of first timers coming to Float this year. So it's going to be an experience. But then again, how are we going to just Sherry Hatcher? How are we going to choose? Good question. Murphy, get out of there. Get out of there. Come here. Sorry, guys. The so there so we our shop is kind of in the middle of the woods, right? And my shop is kind of out in the middle of the woods, and as a result of which, we we have frequent mice visitors. It's living in the woods, right? It's just what happened. And there's an active mouse trap back there. And I'm afraid that this little guy is going to get inquisitive. The door is supposed to be closed. I'm afraid this little guy is going to get inquisitive and stick his nose in there where it doesn't belong, literally where it doesn't belong. But you have space for more instructors now. Yes, that is correct. That is why we have more instructors, because we have more space. Hello from Stacy Moore. Can there be support for the Isaiah Benjamin Aronoff Foundation? You never messaged me. Drop me a message. Cheryl Skorick, I thought I'd see if Step Chat was still going. And yes, it is indeed. Yes, Cheryl Skorick, another one of our fabulous crew members coming to Float. Part of the academic team this year, helping out JD at Float. This is Murphy, by the way. And he's a little bigger. My cat was playing with a bat in my house yesterday. Ooh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, people. Yeah, while you down in Nolans, I imagine that does happen quite a bit. We get bats around here too, but I don't see them as often. But we have them quite up. I know they're around. They're quite often. They're quite. I know there's lots of people talking about them. So there's that. There you go. There you go. So yeah. Do we get to meet Murphy at Float? No, unfortunately, you do not. Murphy is a handful. Murphy, I love his dog to death, but Murphy has one of the smallest bladders I've ever known to man. I have not had a full 8 hours night sleep in 3 months now, because he has to go out in the middle of the night, or else there's accidents all over the house. So he's, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure there'd be a million people that'd be willing to let me go take him for a walk or whatever. I have no doubt about that. But I just, if you've ever been to Float before, you know how stretched out I can be. Now I'm working very, very hard to prevent that from happening. But if you throw him into the mix, I'm just dead. They can't do it. And the hotel does not actually, they technically don't allow pets in there, but every time I've gone, I see people everywhere with their damn dogs. So I can only assume that there's it's like, well, you can have comfort animals and we're not going to ask for paperwork. And I imagine that's the loop. So there you go. Miss Stephanie, Southwest ticks for Float arrival are available. Yes, they are. Just unfortunately not the departure available. Cheryl Skorick, I have a bobcat in my backyard most nights. I have video. Yeah, that's why I don't let Murphy go out alone. We have bobcats, cougars, bears, coyotes, and bald eagles, all within my yard. And some of the fattest raccoons you've ever seen. But no, no, I can't leave. Well, right now there's holes in my fence anyway, so I can't let him out because knowing him, he'll find a damn hole and be gone. But even then, I can't risk leaving him unsupervised. A lot of people are like, oh, just let him out the door and let him back in half an hour later, whatever. No, we can't do that. Cannot do that. So, Sherry Hatcher, the only thing that's going to save me in choosing classes is a flotation pass. Is it? Because remember, the flotation pass gets you come and go access to the master classes. It's not going to give you come and go access to the general classes. It will give you advanced access to sign up for the general classes. You'll get to pick which ones you want first. But you're not going to be able to just decide 5 minutes into class to pick up and go to another class. You couldn't do that last time. So you win for wild animals, Steve. I'd be willing to bet Chris Adamo probably has it worse. So yeah. Anybody in Australia probably has it worse. Well, maybe not Chris. I don't think he lives in a very urban place, but you look at some of the stuff that'll kill you. Yeah, you don't get unlimited access. You do not get come and go access to all of the general classes with a flotation pass. You do not. You can't do it. We classes only have so many seats in them. No, it's never been that. Miss Stephanie, it's never been that way. It's never been that way. Last year with the flotation pass, you got to pre-pick your tickets. So you didn't have to wait in line. You had your tickets waiting for you at the registration desk. But the policy was you couldn't switch classes till 30 minutes in. So that's how it works. You get come and go access to the master classes. You get flip class. You get to flip around and you can come and go with any of those. You get come and go access to the bonus classes, but you do not get come and go access to the general classes. You only get first dibs. Carol Sue, is there somewhere I can find out more info on the flotation passes? So Carol, it's been a while since you've been at Float. The flotation pass is something new that we've come up with. It is essentially like it's kind of like a fast pass at a convention or at like a Disney park or something. It's an all-inclusive, all-encompassing pass. Yes, you did, Sherry Hatcher. Yes, you did. I'm sorry. Sherry Hatcher's like, we didn't have to sign up for any classes. Yes, you did. You didn't have to. You had to sign up because we only had limited seating. You got to pick your classes ahead of time. That's what you got to do. You didn't have to sign up for master or bonus classes. You had to pre-enroll because you had tickets waiting for you at the reg desk. What it meant was you didn't have to wait in the ticket line like everybody else did. That's what it meant. So, anyhow, Carol, basically, because we now offer so many added value options at the convention, the way it works is you could either do everything a la carte, or you can sign up for a flotation pass, which is kind of like a bulk rate deal. But the flotation pass also comes with more stuff than it comes with stuff nobody else gets. For example, some of the things that I've already talked about that I can still talk about is, so again, you get unlimited access to all of the master classes and all of the bonus classes at the convention. So what that means is you don't have to enroll in any of those classes. You are guaranteed a seat in those classes. And so if we have 100 seats in a master class and we have 50 flotation pass seats sold out, that means I can only sell 50 tickets to a class because theoretically you have to be guaranteed a seat. Okay. That's what it means. And you have come and go access. If I were to buy a ticket for Josh Dirks's class, And then I'm like, wow, I'm not, you know what? I want to see what they're doing in Stacy's class. I can't go in that class because I just bought a ticket to Josh's class. But if I have the flotation pass, I can. I can literally just go back and forth. I just show the security guard my flotation pass and I go in. The flotation pass also gets free, just like the bonus classes. They get all that same come and go access. You also get a special notebook. A special notebook. If you sign up for a master class or a bonus class, you get printed notes. You get a copy of printed notes. But if you sign up for the flotation pass, all of those notes for all of those classes are combined into a binder. So you don't have to worry about that stuff. You get a free binder and there you go. Then, in fact, there's a free gift you get for being you get an exclusive gift that nobody else gets at the convention. You get I'm forgetting stuff. I know I'm forgetting stuff. This year, we have VIP access to the vendor showcase. The vendor showcase opens at 11 a.m. on Sunday, but for our Loft members and flotation pass holders, you get in at 9 a.m. This year, the flotation pass, get out of there. This year, the flotation pass comes with 3 Learn It lunches. This year it comes with 3 Learn It lunches. You get free lunch at Float and a 30-minute flash class that nobody else gets access to. Private classes just for you as part of the flotation pass. And there's more. Off the top of my head, I can't think of what it was. These are not going to be inexpensive. These are not cheap passes. Some people end up paying more for the flotation pass than they did for the registration. But I have never met anyone yet. I have never met anyone who has said, I wish I hadn't bought that flotation pass. Never heard anybody. Oh, another benefit, flotation pass. You and a guest get to reserve your seats at the gala. A Loft members will get to reserve their seat. But if you're a flotation pass holder, you and a guest get to reserve your seat at the convention, at the gala. So there's that too. So that's another benefit. There's more benefits too. I can't think of it, but there it is. Let's see here. Tabitha Miller, remind me when the bonus classes are held. Master classes are pre-float and a few after. That is correct. The bonus classes are held on Wednesday afternoon, like 1:00 and 3:30 or something like that. And then the master classes are Saturday, Sunday, and the following Thursday. So there you go. What kind of gift? That is yet to be determined. Last year it was it a backpack last year? I think it was a float backpack or a float. We've given away backpacks. We've done tote bags, or gym bags. We've done a bunch of other stuff. I honestly I haven't decided yet what it's going to be, but it is an exclusive gift. Do instructors get to reserve their seats at the gala? The instructors more than likely will be sitting with their sponsors. So yes, because the sponsors get tables. So more than likely you will be, I have never yet known a sponsor that did not insist that their instructors sit with them. So you will more than likely be sitting at the metallic table. I'm assuming they would want you sitting there. So yes, you do. When will the flotation passes be available? Those will be available in September when we announce the bonus classes, because the bonus classes are part of the flotation pass. Because we've not yet announced the bonus class instructors, then we're not going to sell the flotation passes yet. But again, like I said, they will not be inexpensive. When you think about the fact that you're getting 3 lunches with the pass this year, there you go. But I'm very happy about it. Yeah. I should note also that the notes that you get with master classes are black and white notes, not full color. The ones in the flotation pass book are full color. This year, I know some of you are going to be like, well, the notebooks are full color. Why would we not get full color notes for the master classes? it's a hell of a lot more expensive price wise. I mean, we can look into it. We may end up doing it. I haven't decided yet, but right now I know we're doing black and white. We could possibly upgrade it. It's going to depend on where we're at for budget. In all sincerity, that depends on where we are for the budget as far as flow goes. If we can afford to do it, I'm happy to do it. So there we go. Good questions. Very good questions. Okay. Well, with that being said, I thank you all very much for joining me tonight. I'll give it another 30 seconds or so to see if any more last second questions come in. Yeah, there we go. What's that? You want more Murphy time? Okay. Murphy will sit with me for the last 30 seconds while we wait it out to see if there's any more questions. Right, Murphy? You're causing a little bit of a problem, right? Right in the mouth. Right in the mouth. There we go. So there you go. I know you want to go home. You too. I understand. You want to go home. And soon we will have our home base operation set up too. I just haven't set up the room yet. A couple of weeks ago we talked about I may start flipping around and doing more shows from home as opposed to here. And that's true. So there we go. Okay, folks. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you joining me tonight. Murphy, appreciate you joining us here tonight at the episode of Step Chat. We look forward to seeing you next week. Hopefully I'll be joining you guys on Kicking Back with Lisa Mack on Tuesday. And in the meantime, stay busy, stay profitable, stay happy. Talk to you soon. Bye.